When ancient Norse runes revealed a legendary treasure guarded by supernatural storms, the bravest Viking raiders united for an impossible mission. Now they face nature's fury, mythical creatures, and their own fears in a quest that will test their limits. The story begins with a mysterious set of runes carved into an ancient stone discovered by a village elder during the harsh Nordic winter. These runes spoke of an incredible treasure, more valuable than all the gold in Denmark, hidden deep within a treacherous fjord. But here's the fascinating part. According to the prophecy, this treasure wasn't just protected by ordinary obstacles. The gods themselves had placed eternal storms around it, creating violent whirlpools and lightning that struck anyone who dared to come close. The runes warned that only those with true courage and pure intentions could pass through these divine barriers. Local chieftains initially dismissed it as just another tall tale, but when multiple ships reported seeing strange lights and unexplainable weather patterns in the exact location mentioned in the prophecy, people started to take notice. Word spread quickly across the Nordic settlements, and soon the most skilled raiders from different clans gathered at the Great Hall. There was Bjorn Stormchaser, famous for navigating through the worst weather the sea could throw at him. Eric the Swift brought his specially designed longship, built for both speed and stability. Astrid Shieldmaiden arrived with her elite crew of archers, known for their perfect aim even in rough waters. The twins, Halfdan and Harold, were master shipwrights who could repair vessels under any conditions. Sigrid the Wise joined with her deep knowledge of the old runes and weather signs. Together, they formed a crew unlike any seen before. Not just raiders, but a team of experts ready to face both natural and supernatural challenges. As our Viking crew prepared their ships, nature itself seemed to whisper warnings. The sky turned an eerie shade of green, while ravens, Odin's messengers, gathered in unusually large numbers along the coastline. The local fishermen reported seeing glowing patterns beneath the waves, and their nets came up tangled with strange seaweed that seemed to move on its own. The air grew thick with an unnatural fog that rolled in against the wind, and even the most experienced sailors noticed their compasses spinning wildly. The village elder, his voice trembling, shared stories of ancient times when similar signs appeared before massive storms that swallowed entire fleets. Yet our brave crew saw these omens not as warnings to turn back, but as proof they were on the right path to something truly extraordinary. The storm hit with the force of Thor's hammer itself. Waves as tall as coastal cliffs crashed against the longships, while lightning split the sky in impossible patterns. The crew fought with everything they had, Bjorn Stormchaser shouting directions from the helm as his knuckles turned white on the steering oar. Eric's swift ship danced between the waves while Astrid's archers used their ropes to secure loose cargo. The twins worked frantically to repair splits in the hull as freezing water poured in. Through it all, Sigrid watched the chaos with knowing eyes, recognizing patterns in the lightning that matched the ancient runes. The storm wasn't just trying to sink them, it was testing them. Each massive wave that didn't break them made them stronger, more determined to prove themselves worthy of the treasure that awaited. Through the storm's chaos, massive shapes began moving beneath the waves. The crew watched in awe as giant serpents, each as long as 3 longships, circled their vessels. These weren't ordinary sea creatures. Their scales gleamed with an otherworldly blue light, and their eyes glowed like the northern stars. A massive head rose from the depths, a creature straight from the old tales with antlers made of coral and teeth like ice shards. The Vikings recognized these beings as the guardian spirits of these sacred waters. Instead of attacking outright, the creatures seemed to be studying them, testing their resolve. Sigrid noticed something crucial. These spirits moved in patterns matching the runes from the prophecy. The crew realized they needed to prove their worth not through battle, but through showing respect to these ancient guardians. The storm unleashed its deadliest weapon, bolts of lightning that moved with an intelligent purpose, seeking out the Viking ships. But our raiders were ready. Bjorn called out the ancient shield wall formation, modified for their ships. The crew raised their metal-rimmed shields in a precise pattern, creating a protective dome that guided the lightning around their vessels. Astrid's archers used their bronze-tipped arrows to draw strikes away from the ships, while Sigrid noticed the lightning followed the same rhythm as the runes she'd studied. The twins discovered their wooden repairs actually helped insulate the ships. Working together, the Vikings turned their defense into an art form, moving their shields in sync with the storm's attacks. Each successful deflection brought them closer to mastering this supernatural challenge. Through sheets of rain and waves that crashed like mountains, the Vikings spotted something extraordinary, a faint blue glow coming from the cliff face. As they got closer, they saw that the rock itself seemed to be moving, revealing patterns that matched the ancient runes. Sigrid quickly translated the shifting symbols while Bjorn skillfully maneuvered the ships closer to the cliff. The twins noticed how the water behaved strangely near one spot, flowing backward against the current. Eric's keen eyes spotted a narrow opening that appeared and disappeared with each wave. Working together, the crew timed their approach perfectly, using the storm's own rhythm to guide them. As they passed through the hidden entrance, the chaos of the storm suddenly fell away, revealing a massive cave glowing with an otherworldly light. As the Vikings entered the glowing cave, they found themselves in a massive chamber that sparkled with more gold than they'd ever seen. But they weren't alone. Tall, ghostly figures emerged from the walls, their forms shifting between human and animal shapes. These were the Vetir, ancient guardian spirits of Norse legend. The spirits didn't attack, but instead presented three challenges: riddles in ancient Norse, tests of honor, and trials of sacrifice. Each Viking had to prove they sought the treasure not just for greed, but for their people's survival. Sigrid decoded the riddles, while Bjorn demonstrated leadership by offering his prized sword as sacrifice. The twins showed wisdom by solving a puzzle that required working together, and Astrid proved her courage by facing her deepest fears in a spirit vision. The cave began to shake as some raiders stuffed their pockets with gold, ignoring the spirit's warnings. The supernatural storm outside grew stronger, sending massive waves crashing into the cave entrance. Bjorn noticed the water rising faster than normal, while Sigrid translated urgent warnings appearing in glowing runes on the walls. The message was clear: take only what was promised in the prophecy, or none would leave alive. Some raiders argued to grab everything they could, but Eric the Swift remembered how greed had destroyed other crews he'd known. The group faced a crucial choice: risk everything for more treasure, or honor the ancient agreement. Time was running out as the cave's ceiling started cracking, and the guardian spirit's eyes glowed with growing anger. The Vikings' escape turned into the fight of their lives as the cave began collapsing around them. The crew loaded only the prophesied treasure, a golden chest marked with sacred runes, onto their ships. The guardian spirits unleashed their full power, creating whirlpools that spun like giant maelstroms. Bjorn steered their ships through gaps in the waves, while Astrid's archers shot flaming arrows to light the way through the darkness. The twins worked together to keep the ships from breaking apart, as massive rocks crashed down from above. Sigrid chanted ancient prayers that seemed to calm the water just enough to let them pass. When they finally burst out of the cave, the storm threw everything it had at them: giant waves, lightning, and sea monsters rising from the depths. But this time they knew how to handle it. Working as one, they rode the waves instead of fighting them, letting Thor's lightning guide them home. Thanks for joining us on this epic Viking adventure. If you enjoyed learning about these legendary Norse raiders and their supernatural challenges, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow history lovers. Stay tuned for more incredible historical tales.